I spent $5,000 on an iMac Pro about 6 months ago, and now I feel like I can really talk about whether or not it was worth it. Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech, so honest it hurts. If this is your first time here, thank you for coming by, and if you've been here before, thank you for coming back again. Let's talk about this iMac Pro. As I said, I bought an iMac Pro base model it's been about 5 months ago. And if you've been with the channel for a while, you might remember the struggle that I had with a lot of the computers I had tried up to that point. I wanted a laptop, so I tried one of the top spec MacBooks and a Surface Book 2, actually two Surface Book 2s, and both machines caused me lots of problems. The Surface Book proved to be unreliable. I went through those two units and each had their issues. The MacBook Pros were also problematic. First I tried a 2017 top spec and it just wasn't happy with the way it was performing, so when the 2018 model came out, I grabbed an i7 model that had so much trouble creating fan noise that I couldn't use it and record my videos. At that point, I'd been rolling through laptops and a couple of PCs and iMacs for about 6 months, maybe even longer, closer to a year. Best Buy had actually banned me from returning anything for a full year, and I couldn't figure out where to go from there. I didn't really have the money for an iMac Pro at the time. I was at least a couple of $1,000s away from affording the base model, but I couldn't see where else to go. I tried Hackintosh, I tried older Mac Pros, and nothing could get me what I really needed: the stability and performance to be able to film and edit my videos, record music, and handle just about anything that I could throw at it. Everything had something that stopped me from getting work done. What surprised me the most was my videos aren't really all that demanding. I still shoot in 1080p, and my productions don't use a lot of assets and are not super complicated. The majority of what I tried should have taken care of my needs, but none of them did. I suspect a lot of it had to do with the fact that I'm a one-person show, and any little snag in my workflow throws off my schedule, and the effects when that happens are doubled. Everything takes me twice as long, and I just get really frustrated. I'm happy to say, though, that after 5 months or so with the iMac Pro, all of my issues are gone. Some of you are out there saying, well, for $5,000, they better be, and to an extent you're right, but the success I've had with the iMac Pro not only proves that sometimes it's just about getting the right tools. A MacBook Pro probably would have been fine for me once I got the kinks worked out, but I only would have gone to that extent if I had to work on the go, which I don't. Pretty much everything I do for my channel happens here at home in my home studio, where my iMac sits waiting for me patiently. Just to run through what comes with the iMac Pro for the uninitiated: you get the computer itself, which looks like an iMac in space gray. That's basically what it is. You get the Magic extended keyboard and a Magic Mouse 2 plus a power cable. That's all that comes in the package. And as usual, Apple does a great job of packaging, etc., etc. The keyboard and mouse, I mean, I've had a love-hate relationship with Apple keyboards and mice for a long time. They're fine for everyday use, and I did use them for a while, but after a while I switched to the Logitech Craft keyboard and the MX Master 2S mouse. Thank you, Logitech, for sending them to me. Both are more substantial and offer a better, more comfortable typing and mousing experience, and they match the space gray design really well, strangely. The only thing that I miss from the Magic Mouse 2 is the ability to scroll left and right when I'm in Final Cut. That is kind of a drag. I could get a trackpad, but I don't know. I'll get a trackpad one of these days, I guess. When it comes to video editing, I go from recording, rendering, and editing within a few minutes. Once I get all of my assets into the Final Cut Pro project, I can be editing pretty much right away, and the editing goes extremely fast. I've definitely improved my editing workflow over the past 6 months, but the real change has come with never noticing the tools I'm using to get the job done. There's just no waiting for rendering. There's no waiting for anything with the iMac Pro. The iMac Pro never announces itself by saying, hold on, give me a second just to get this done. Usually I turn my head and start designing the thumbnail for the video or something, and before I get going with that, the video is rendered, has popped up, and now is ready to be uploaded. Just to give you context, most of my videos render out to be somewhere between 2 and 5 gigabytes in 1080p. I can start uploading to YouTube before I'm even working on the thumbnail most of the time. Once I'm done with the thumbnail, the video is already pretty much uploaded and ready, and all I have to do is fill out the rest of the metadata and that kind of thing, the tags, titles, end screens, etc., etc., and I'm ready to hit the publish button. For a typical Painfully Honest Tech video, the time needed to go from recorded video and audio to edited, uploaded, and ready to publish is usually less than 2 hours worth of work, sometimes even closer to an hour and a half to an hour. If I ever move to recording in 4K, that's of course going to change, but for now, as someone who works alone and tries to get at least 4 or 5 videos out a week, the power of the iMac Pro allows me to get my work done without wanting to tear my hair out, without giving me all kinds of fits, just because it won't do what I need it to. As for everything else, Logic Pro, Studio One 4, both open in seconds, and once I'm recording, there's never any kind of slowdown. I can and do get a lot done with the iMac Pro. I'm really hardly putting any strain on it, but that headroom is what's going to help me grow and continue to get a lot done in times that are really critical for my career. It's hard to really encourage anyone to go out and spend $5,000 on a computer, but if your use case sounds anything like the one I describe here, it's worth thinking about. I was literally pulling change out of my pockets and putting it on the table to get the last little bit of money that I needed to pay for this thing, and I was scared as hell that I was making the wrong choice. It was all happening when my channel was really starting to grow, and anything that set me back would have caused major problems, but the iMac Pro is the real deal. And since I'm hardly taxing it at this point, it's likely to be the computer that I use for my creative work for quite a while to come. It was a scary purchase to make at the time that I made it, but now, several months later, my channel's gone past 100,000 subs. The iMac Pro has really helped me get to that point and keep going. This is my 5 months with the iMac Pro review, I guess. All I can say is there's nothing wrong with it. It works the way that it should, and a lot of Apple products in the lower tiers these days can't say that. If you're thinking about getting a machine like this and not totally putting yourself in the hole, the iMac Pro is a great purchase, and it will last you for quite some time in the future. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. If this was your first time here and you want to come back, you know what to do. There's all kinds of stuff that you can, buttons you can push and things like that. If you've been here before, again, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Is the iMac Pro something that you might need? Would you ever spend that kind of money on a computer? I'm sure most of you have something to say about it down in the comments below. I look forward to a boisterous conversation. Once again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech, so honest, it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.